Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Feel free to write to me at walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any questions regarding to this video or any other videos that I've posted in the past. In the past, when I stir fry in my stainless steel wok, which without non-stick coating, and I have to season the wok, one of the greatest fear that I have is that food is going to get stick and burn to the surface of the wok. And a lot of time, this happens unpredictably, particularly when I want the dish to turn out if I have company and food start to stick. And in this video, I'm going to demonstrate what will happen in this case when unexpectedly food start to burn to the bottom of the wok. Now, I season the wok like I normally do. I use about 2 tablespoons of canola oil. I use my spot seasoning method. I let the oil to smoke for about 15 seconds, and I'm ready to cook. And this is the time when the wok is being seasoned. And for this dish, I'm going to shallow fry some chicken. I coat the chicken with cornstarch plus my basic seasoning mix as well as some sugar. And this method works very well in the past. I would have no problem for the chicken to stick. At this point, the oil temperature is high and it will allow me to sear the chicken effectively. What I did is that I spread out the chicken on the surface of the wok, and you can see the chicken sear almost immediately and start to get burned. And you notice that nothing actually at this point stick to the surface of the wok. Next, I add some onion. The onion plays an important role. At this point, I actually turn down the temperature. The onion will cause the chicken to cook a little bit slower, and this will provide a much more tender texture. As you can see, everything so far so good. I really have nothing stick to the bottom surface of the wok. However, home cooking can be unpredictable. Next, I add some shiitake mushroom. Now, this shiitake mushroom has been in the refrigerator for about 2 weeks. I bought it and I was not able to use it up, and I forgot about it, and I decided that I'm going to use it for this dish. Now, shiitake mushroom actually in very good shape, and I do not see anything wrong about it, and I know it probably will work out well. But you notice that things are not going well at this point. Something about the shiitake mushroom are causing things start to burn to the bottom surface of the wok. And I really do not know what is the reason. And the situation gets worse. As you can see now, the bottom surface of the wok start to not only have things stick, but it start to burn. And it turned into a black color. So this is a time I decided that I need to do something about it, because if I don't, it will get so bad that the dish will be ruined. I use a method that I call spot cleaning. The method actually is quite simple. I just spray a small amount of water right onto the surface where food has been stuck and burned. And this method will allow me to actually scrape off the burnt material. As you notice that I add only a very small amount of water. That's really important because by adding a small amount of water, the temperature of the wok will cause the water to evaporate and turn into steam almost immediately. And I use the wok spatula to scrape off. And surprisingly, it worked really well. It might not work perfectly. But at this point, I like to continue to cook this dish. So the next step I'm going to do is that I add other food ingredients, and this including some asparagus as well as sugar snap pea. Because at this point, I do not want to overcook the chicken. And also add some thinly sliced carrot. This is part of the sequential cooking method, is that these other ingredients I only want to cook lightly. Now, as you can see, the problem has not completely gone away. When I start to stir fry, I notice that there are still has food ingredients that's stuck to burn to the surface of the wok. So I need to continue this process because, again, I do not want to make the situation worse. So I add a little bit more water. As you can see now that the water actually turned out to be really effective. And by continue with this process, I gradually remove the material that have stuck and burned. So it looks like I have somewhat reversed the situation. and I need to continue to work on it. But it is also important that I do not add too much water because I do not want to dilute the flavor of the food ingredient. But you can tell whatever that's burned to the surface of the wok is really quite severe, because when I scrape them off, you can see the debris that come from the black color at the bottom of the wok start to actually noticeable in the food ingredients. However, so far the situation is actually not too bad. So I'm going to season the wok with a touch of oyster sauce. And now the dish is pretty much done, because the asparagus as well as the sugar snap pea only take very little time to cook. And by this time, I pretty much shut off the heat, and I start to make sure that I stir everything well. But I can notice that, in fact, whatever that might have stuck to the bottom surface of the wok, I have pretty much successfully detached them. So I have successfully averted a serious situation. Otherwise, I would have had this dish ruined. And using this method, I'm able to rescue a situation that otherwise would have been disastrous. Now, it turned out that actually the flavor of the dish is very good. And the reason why is that because the material that burned to the bottom surface of the wok actually are very flavorful. In fact, there's a method which is very similar to what I'm doing here. Is known as deglazing. It's a famous culinary technique. And in this technique is that after a dish is being cooked, whatever that might still stick and remain at the bottom surface of the wok, you can retrieve them. And this is by adding a fluid. In most of the case, this is very popular in French cooking. French cooking use wine. So in this case, wine is added to the wok. Now, most of the time in those dishes is that the burn material is not as serious or as severe as you can see in this particular dish. But wine serves similar purpose. By adding a small amount of wine a little bit at a time, it's possible to start to detach the material that has burned. And the end result is that you retrieve all the great flavor from this material. Now, this dish turned out to be very flavorful. And I think part of the reason is because those burnt material actually create really nice flavor. Now, it is not intentional, but it turned out to be good. However, in the past, I discovered is that if I do not mitigate the situation using this method, the burning will get even worse. And to the point is that I cannot really enjoy the dish at all. And quite often, I have simply to discard the dish. So you might ask, what happened to the wok? How easy it is for you to clean the wok? Now, in fact, actually, I first discovered this method is that when I have food badly burned, and I discovered if I put the wok back onto the stove, and using this method, I'm able to clean off most of the burn material. That makes cleaning the wok much easier. If you don't use this method, the wok can be very hard to clean. So here is the wok after the dish is being cooked. As you can see, the surface of the wok is actually have some food material burned. Now, this, based on my experience, is not something I have to worry about. So I use my bamboo wok whisk. The wok whisk turned out to be probably one of the most effective cleaning tool for a wok, because the stiffness of the bamboo actually is told to be perfect to scraping off whatever that might stick on the surface of the wok. Other brushes that I have used is by far not as effective. So using this, almost most of the food debris on the surface of the wok that previously has been burned, because of the spot cleaning, I have loosened them. So now I'm able to clean most of them off. So after using the wok whisk, I use a sponge. This is a scrubbing sponge made by 3M. And this sponge turned out to be really effective. And this sponge is known as Scotch Brite. It's a heavy-duty scrub sponge. This will allow me to move whatever the remaining material that might burn. And in fact, it allowed me to also remove the stain on the surface of the wok as well. So as you can see, by using this method, I can always keep my wok clean and spotless. And this situation can happen to any type of wok, whether it is carbon steel, cast iron, or light cast iron. The wonderful thing about when you're using a stainless steel wok, you can see exactly what is going on. It's much easier to clean and to provide you a spotless surface. So each time when you cook, you can start out with a perfectly clean wok. So if you'd like to learn more about my fast cooking system, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. So keep on cooking, and I will see you tomorrow.